afternoon and welcome everyone to the Trading Talk Uncensored live Q&A session. My name is Danny and I will give you the webinar today. And we're going to quickly do that with the help of with the presentation with the slide we're looking at right here. So we're going to begin reading the questions and then going to the chart and doing our best to answer them on the best side. Now we're going to take the first question, which is what is the advantage using pending orders? Okay, we'll take it like this, and then we'll paste it in our notepad right here. And then, but by the way, I am logged into the web trader. The web trader is embedded in our website, which means that you can enjoy this platform without to download or install anything. Just by logging in with your email and password, and under trading platforms, you can click on web trader or web trading, even on your phone, and then you will get to here. There are lots of useful things here, which I'm not going to expand to expand about, because there is a separated webinar dedicated for this. Now, how are we going to answer the question that we received? The question is, what is the advantage using pending orders? So there are regular orders, which are market execution, we'll call them, okay, which are buy or sell by market. Okay, depend if it's a buy or a sell. And there are pending orders. I'm going to show it to you right now on the chart. Maybe in the meantime we'll look at this. We'll look at that, and this will give us a better idea what we're talking about. So I'm just going to quickly set up what's going on here. Let's keep it like this for now. Okay, we'll take the top, and then we will. Okay, this makes sense. Obviously, it still has potential to go higher, so we can carry on with a buy. Maybe 0.1. Maybe. So I have enabled all of the pending orders that are available for me, which is execute when price hits, take profit, and stop loss. The way that it works, I'm going to write it for you as well. Of course, you don't have to remember anything that I'm telling you, because if you point on the I here, it's going to show you automatically the information of what it means. But still, I'm going to write it for you in my own words very simply, so you will understand what it does. So execute when price hits is opening the position automatically when reaching the price. Then we've got take profit, closing the position automatically when reaching the price. And the last one is going to be stop loss. So we're going to write it like this. Just a second. And when is in the position when reaching the price. Oh, in here is with a profit, and in here that's going to be with a loss. So closing the position automatically when reaching the price with a loss, or with a profit, we're take profit. In other words, since we can fully automate a position like that, the entry, the closing. So what is the advantage? What is the advantage using this system, the pending orders in here? So the first advantage that I can think of is it's a time saver. Why? Okay, why is this a time saver? Because, for instance, if I'm going to compose the position like this and I click here buy, basically I can leave the position and go do whatever I wanted to do. It's not in my control and not going to be my control if I'll make profit or loss. But with pending orders like stop loss and take profit, I automated my closing. So for every position, as long as we're trading CFD, the concept that we're looking at here, the idea when we are buying something is that the value will increase. When it increases enough, I want to close the position. So the take profit, what it does is it lets us in advance set a certain target, a certain level on the chart, that when the instrument gets to that level, it's going to be closed automatically. Okay, so I don't have to be by the computer to close the position if I have a take profit. So first advantage, I don't have to be by the chart to close the position. Okay, the second thing is, second advantage is, if I've already set this, I've got this pending orders placed on the chart, maybe I'll feel safer rather than not using it to either change any of my decisions. So if I wouldn't use any of those, I wouldn't have a specific measurement how much I can lose or gain, because there is no limit to it, right? But in this case, this also helps me psychologically a little bit, because I know how much I can gain or lose, and I can specifically design the position for those numbers. Okay, so the first thing is I don't have to be by the chart to close the position. To close, to open or close the position. Okay, and another advantage that we said is once we got those we got those placed, we can be away, and it will give us the limitations that we set. Now, apart from that, there is, of course, it's important to know that the numbers that I've placed in here are not specific. And as you can see, what I did here is very simple. I enabled execute when price hits, take profit, and stop loss. I've set my entry to be very close to where we are, 53. The take profit that I've placed is 55. It's $2 higher. So if I'll take quickly a rectangle here, and I'll take a price line, and I'll set this price line to be 55, we're gonna see, make it green maybe, and then change to 1 day quickly. And then we'll see that the green area here is to help us understand where the profit area. So our take profit is marked in green, as you can see, and the stop loss which we've placed, which was 51, we'll make it in red. Same apply. We're going to take a rectangle, and then we will just a second. And now we are covered in terms of the entry and in terms of the closing. Okay, as we can see, we are intending to buy now. We are with a buy, as we see in here. We have 0.1, which stands for 1,000 ounces. Our entry was designed to be 53. So if it gets to 53, it will launch exactly like it said it's here. Execute when price hits is opening the position automatically when reaching the price. If it gets to the green line, we're going to make $2,000, and if it gets down to the red line, we're going to potentially lose $2,000 as well. And as we wrote here, maybe I should just write it plain and simple. Using pending orders allows us to fully automate the entry and closing, which is giving us the ability to fully automate a position and be away. Okay, let's read what we wrote. When using pending orders allows us to fully automate the entry and the closing, which gives us the ability to leave the chart with the settings we wanted to close. So basically what I'm trying to tell you here, guys, is once I've clicked here buy and everything is ready for me, I can step away, do whatever I wanted to do, and everything here will happen automatically. This is also the answer that I wrote. So when using pending orders, it allows us to fully automate the entry and the closing, which gives us the ability to leave the chart and still close or open the position automatically. Okay, and as we spoke about it, what I'm not going to write it down, we're getting a psychological advantage using this, because it also helps us adjust things like the trading ratio between profit and loss, and it also, I'm less worried when I have stop loss on. I'm less worried because I know that I've placed this price to stop the position. If God forbid I wouldn't have the stop loss here, and it would get all the way down to, I don't know, let's say not 51 but 41 is an example. Okay, so then it will be a completely different story, okay? Because this means that I'm going to wipe out this account. All right, so without the stop loss, I'm vulnerable. I've got no limits to how much I can gain or lose. If I've got no pending orders, I've got no limitations. But when I use take profit, I'm limiting my profit to a certain point to close it automatically, and the stop loss to help me do risk money management, basically deciding on what price to stop. I think we've discussed this question quite enough. If there are any questions related about anything that I've said so far, feel free to let me know. But at the moment, we're going to take what we wrote in here. We will paste it in our presentation. Okay, we see that the second question we received in here is it required to have experience using signals? Well, obviously, it's an advantage. It's always good to know what we're doing when we are whatever we're doing. But in fact, in practice, if I would be asked this as a yes or no question, I would say no. Okay, and the reason is it required to have experience to use the signals? Of course, it's not required, it's recommended. Okay, so let's understand the difference. First of all, let me show you the signal real quick. So this is the signal section. There are actually two ways for you to use the signal. One is from the signal section like we're doing now. The second way is from the outside. So whenever you see an instrument and there is this blue lightning icon right here, if you click on the blue lightning icon, you're going to get this analysis page, and you can click on the arrow to expand all the way up. And then we can see in here in this analysis menu here that this is in a buy type. We've got a buy and a sell scenario. Underneath, we've got the key levels and the pivot point. We've got some resistance and support. Okay, so basically, whenever I'm analyzing any kind of chart, my resistance will be at the top and my support line will be at the bottom. Of course, both support and resistance can vary. They're not definitive, and they can be identified in different time frames. So at the moment, we're actually looking at minutes. So this doesn't give us a lot, because the chart here, the validity is daily. So what we wanted to do is we want to match the same validity, clicking here at the left upper top corner, and then scroll down to 1D. Then in 1D, we get similar pictures. We can click and drag it down. If we want to be more specific, we can even go for 4 hours, and then we can capture a very, very nice image, as we can see in here. But never mind, this is not mandatory, and this is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm showing you and explaining you now is with experience. Let's try it out without experience, okay? Without any analysis. So we're gonna try something else, but let's do it from the signal section. And it's also important to know, as you can see, we've got the take profit and the stop loss already marked for us. It's also important to know that the list here with the times it begins from the newest being at the top and the oldest is at the bottom. Why am I telling you this? Because because the market is moving always, right? And whatever analysis that was done in here is not going to stay forever. Okay, let me just quickly go back to show you what's happening here. We clicked on view signal, we click here to expand, and then what we see is that based on those resistance and support levels, we've got the take profit and the stop loss designed. What happens when a key ingredient already passed? What happens if the analysis here is already fulfilled? Then what we get is this. And then we can see that the market has already reached a key level, which makes this signal futile. So even if we'll go with a sell scenario as we try, this is not going to give us anything. Yeah. So we want the analysis. We always want the analysis as soon as it comes out and not hours later, because the market is changing. The market is moving. So if we take something else, something valid like crude oil, and we click here view signal, and we click here on sell, you see there was no analysis that I did to get to here. And I've got the take profit and the stop loss ready for me without any preparations. Now, what's the advantage? So first of all, I'm going to answer the question. It is not required to have experience when using the signals, although it's extremely recommended to be able to add your own analysis. Now, I'm saying it very carefully because some people don't know how to do analysis, and the signals are there to help them so-called save that step. But there is no again, let me show you again what's happening with the procedure here when we use the signal. So the first thing we do is we click on signal, we get a bunch of analysis here, and then we need to choose from the scenario. How do we choose? Based on what? Based on how pretty this picture is? Not really, right? We choose based on a certain understanding of the situation we're looking at. So to make that judgment, we need to understand something. We need to understand the basics. That's what I think. Of course, beyond that, if I'm using the signal just as my guidelines and I'm adding my own analysis and I'm taking it to the next step, that's even better. But if we're not there and the signal is, again, supposed to save us that step to make things quickly, I would still recommend to understand the basics, to make proper judgment and not to go with this blindly. That's what I think. Some people might not agree. Okay, this is why I wrote here, it's not required to have experience when using the signals, although it's extremely recommended to add your own analysis to make the proper judgment for a buy or a sell scenario. Okay, at the end, we got to choose buy or sell, right? There is no third option in here. So let's paste that in our presentation. Right here. And then we still have those numbers. Yeah. Now, the third question, what is the limit of positions that can be opened at the same time? Okay, what's the maximum position basically? Maximum number of positions. So basically, I'm not familiar with anything specific. I cannot tell you if it's 50, 500, or 5,000. So I'm going to write here. There is no specific amount, at least none that I'm familiar with. People might say otherwise. There's no specific limit to how many positions we can have. Although the more positions I have, the more margin I'm using. That's A. Okay, I'll write it separately. There is no specific positions that we have. It's important to know the more positions we are opening, the more margin we need, and more positions means more time to manage. Again, some people might say otherwise, you can have 50 positions, 100 positions, and it's not going to make a difference. For me personally, when I pile up more than 5 to 10 or even higher than that, 20 positions or more, then it becomes more demanding and I have to monitor things more carefully. Even if I'm using pending orders, I want to be sure that my margin level is healthy all the time. This is something we must do all the time to ensure that the margin level is in a healthy level, so we will be able to perform the necessary strategy. And let me just quickly show you here. So I'll click here on AvaTrade again to go back to the default. Then we'll click on indices. Then we'll click on the maybe NASDAQ or FTSE. Let's go NASDAQ. And I'll click here on the arrows. Then I'll click here on the buy. So we can see it's quite bullish. Yeah, it's been bullish. Okay, 40%. Oh, sorry, that's 1 minute. Let's change to 1 week. Then we'll click in here, and then we'll see this nice 40% from the top. 50%, yeah, quite incredible, quite incredible. Okay, so this is where we were on April. But now we've passed the 25. Let's look at the question again. Yeah, so who cares how many positions I take? Well, as I have explained, the margin is something we need to acknowledge all the time to ensure that we're in a healthy level so we can perform our strategy if we want to take more positions or to ensure that we have enough margin to sustain the positions that we have and so on. Another thing that I've mentioned was the time that it takes to manage. So when I've got 1 position, 2 positions, 5 positions, as an example, even 10. Let's take it, a little higher. So when I've got 10 positions, for instance, I know that I need to have this much time to monitor all the positions, monitor the market, ensure that it's heading to the right, direction, and I have enough margin to cover that. When I've got 50 or 100 positions, this becomes much more complicated, especially if I've got no pending orders applied. Can you imagine what it takes to remember 100 positions with no pending orders when you've got no limit to how much you can gain or lose? Let it sink in. So this is why I always say it's great to take more positions, but we need to know, do we have more margin for that? Yes or no? Do we have more time to take care of that? Yes or no? Again, this is my personal approach. Some people might say otherwise, but that's what I think. We're going to take that and paste it in our presentation just like that, and let's see. Okay, change it to 10. Yeah, and delete whatever is here. Okay. Yes, the last question is, what is the most important thing in trading? That is just amazing. The most important thing is to make profits, of course, right? Let's write it down. The most important thing is to make profits. That's it. Now we're in the no, of course I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't think that this is the most important thing, to be honest. And the reason is, even if I'll make profits, but I lose more than I gain, basically it doesn't give me anything, right? So it's definitely not the most important thing. In my opinion, the most important thing is to find the trading style that suits you. So I can go to the gym and there could be a great, a great coach, great trainer that will give me exercise that I can't perform, or it's too difficult, or I just don't enjoy performing those exercises. He's going to tell me that this exercise is remarkable. Yeah, but if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't fit my lifestyle and it doesn't fit my personality, so it doesn't really make, because I won't be able to do it for a long time. So what I want to look for is obviously something that I feel confident with and something that can help me get to my goal. And of course, we have excellent senior account managers that can assist you along the process to give you full support. And we've got endless amount of knowledge in our YouTube channel, right here on the website. I'm going to show you the tutorials. But what I'm trying to tell you here is, to my opinion, it takes a bit time to adjust to get to what you feel comfortable with, because it's not always the things that we do right away. So I can try scalping, do this for I don't know how long, maybe a few weeks, maybe a month, maybe a few months, and not to do too well. And then I'll start doing intraday, and suddenly I'm making profits and I am, performing. And or on the other end, I can swing, and then it will be incredible. So always this stage is something that takes, unfortunately, time and money, because we want to try different things and see what we do the best. So to answer the question here, what is the most important, in my opinion, is to find a strategy your personality and lifestyle. Okay, and the reason for that, lifestyle, so you can enjoy trading, analyzing, and making profits. Okay, the reason that I wrote this is, if I'll trade things that I don't enjoy analyzing and I'll get lucky once or twice, at some point I'll just get sick of that and I'll stop doing that, and my skills are not going to be improved in the same way. So like I said, what I think will be the best thing is, of course, to visit our sources and to enjoy the resources that we give, to see what's the best for you. We've got solutions for almost anything you can imagine: options, futures, copy trading, social trading, whatever you can imagine. So you can try, really take your time to enjoy the journey. It doesn't have to be the first thing you try or the second thing that you try, because at the end of the day, you get the full support, you get a full umbrella in here. So you can enjoy all of that. And like I wrote here, to find a perfect plan and strategy for your personality and lifestyle, so you can enjoy trading, analyzing, and making profits. I'm going to also show you, I'm going to send you the links now. I'm also going to show you how to access those things from the website without to, just from the website. Just a second. Okay, so we've covered all the questions that we should have had. Okay, and now those links, we're going to take those links and paste it in the chat. So this is the, oh, sorry, I took everything and I should have had only this bit. Right, so AvaTrade education is for more additional education if you would like to explore. Faculty Help Center is the for more official kind of queries or questions that you may have. And then we've got Real Account if you're still on a demo. So if you're still on the demo, then this is how you can create a real account. And this is the academy, which I'm going to show you how to access from the website, like I said. So those are all the links, and I'm going to share with you now. And I'm also going to give you here the Q&A benefit, the one-on-one premium market review. So this is a special promotion code, the Q&A benefit. This is something you can give to your senior account manager, and he knows what to do. And now I'm going to show you how we added those things from the website. This is really easy to access. We can click here on the AvaTrade to go back to the full screen. We can click here on the arrows to fold it down. And right here at the left side, we've got all those nice icons. In the top, we'll have our personal details. In here is trade. This is where we are. Positions, orders, history, signals, which we visited already. News, discovery, and additional platforms, which I've mentioned. We've got several additional platforms. And at the next bit in here in this play button, we've got those two things. We've got the academy, which will take us to the academy. And we've got here at the top, we've got tutorials. So if I'll click on tutorials, okay, it should open the windows in here. Perhaps it's under constructions. But if it's not, you can just use the link that I shared with you over the chat. Okay, so this is for now. Unfortunately, our time is up for today. You're all welcome to join us for the next webinar. And as I said, the recording will be uploaded to our YouTube channel for you to watch as many times as you want. And you're welcome to explore our YouTube channel, not just for the recording of this one, but for analysis, risk money management, and so much more. So go ahead and enjoy that. Until then, I wish you all best of luck with trading. Come join us next time, and have a good day.